Hello, viewers. Welcome to the first among a series of visual tutorials to get you started with programming in Python language. This will be a short session to help you with the basics like the features of the Python language and how to get Python to work on your machine. With that covered, let's get into your first lesson on Python. This session covers the following topics: Introduction to Python, the features, and setting up Python on your machine. Introduction to Python. The Python programming language was developed in the late 80s and it was derived from a number of other programming languages like C, C++, Smalltalk, and a few others. It is a high level, interpreted, object oriented programming language. Well, that's quite a few heavyweight terminologies in a breath. Well, we are here to break things down for you. A high-level programming language is one that may use or is close to natural human language or contains elements from natural language, thus making developing programs simpler. As an example, the word print might indeed be meaningful to a high-level programming language. An interpreted language enables you to run the exact code you wrote without having to rely on someone else to convert your code into a language spoken by your computer, which is the zeros and ones. This someone else being a compiler in most cases. More about compilers later. An object oriented programming language treats everything like real world objects. A car, in object oriented terms, is an object. An employee is an object. Both of these know how to get stuff done, like drive or work. You write code to ask these objects to get the stuff done. This is a pretty simplified explanation and might sound really silly for a non beginner. Our intention is to get all the complexity out at the beginning, and we'll definitely be diving deep into these concepts a little while later. Moving on to features. Python is simple, which means it is easy to learn and read. Now, we touched on the word print a while ago when we discussed high level languages. The word print does indeed have a meaning in Python. Now, as your first example, the word print followed by some text within quotes lets you get these texts appear on the screen. We have a short demo for you. The word print followed by a few text within quotes and hit enter. We can see the text Hello Python printed on the screen. Simple, isn't it? Moving on to the next feature, that is portability. Python can run on very many hardware platforms and isn't restricted to being used in a single type of machine. Python works like charm on huge commercial enterprise server to a handheld device. All of this due to its being open source, which is the third feature. By open source, we mean anybody with enough knowledge can contribute to the source code and make the language better by sharing and making changes to the code. There is a strong community backing Python that helps keep it nice and strong every day. We shall touch on the word nice to cover the final feature on our list, that is libraries. A huge collection of libraries in Python takes your work off from your shoulders. since they help you write less code. Python has tons of these written by people in the Python community who are way smarter than you and me. Let's move on to how we set up the Python programming language on our machines. On Macs, like the one we are using now, you are good to go by typing in the word Python after firing up the terminal. Now we will follow this up with a simple exercise to demonstrate this concept. Let us begin by taking the terminal. To begin with Python and to fire up Python interpreter, I type in Python and press enter. I am into the Python interpreter, and in order to start printing my first program, that is, I want to print the text hello world. I type in print followed by hello world in quotes and press enter. You can see the word hello world printed on the screen. Moving on, most Linux distributions follow the same procedure, so we have that covered as well. Addition to that, we have a tip for you that in Macs and Linux, Python 2.7 comes pre-installed. But for Windows, you have an additional work. The Windows users who are tuned in can visit the URL you see on your screen and download the 32-bit or the 64-bit installers, which will take care of rest of the procedures. We have a screen grab from the website, and you'll have to specifically install either of the two options listed within the rectangular box. With that, we are wrapping up the first session. We hope we've got you excited about Python, and we look forward to meeting you the next time. Until then, it's goodbye.
Hello guys, today I'll take you through Introduction to Programming Language and Python Programming Language. So before we get to know about Python Programming Language, what actually is a programming language? Any ideas? Okay, here we go. A programming language is nothing but a language which is used to communicate with the computer, so which is nothing but a machine. There are many programming languages available in the market like Java, C++, C Hash, Perl, .NET, etc. And Python is one among them. These days, Python is emerging as popular day by day because of its simplicity and easy to use and easy to learn, and also we can able to learn it in a short period of time, and we can able to code in a short period of time. All right. Basically, the languages, the programming languages are categorized into two types. Uh, One is interpreter languages and one is compilation languages. Okay, let's know about interpreter language. All right. So, what actually mean by interpretation? Interpretation is the process of executing your program line by line. It means one statement at a time, directly at runtime. So this was an interpreter which reads your programming code line by line and executes it directly at runtime into a language that can be understood by the machine. So this was your final execution code. All right. So interpreter is the one which does this task of executing your code line by line. All right. So this is all about interpreter. What actually mean by compiler or the compilation language? All right. So compilation is nothing but the process of converting the, the entire programming code you have written into the language that can be understood by the computer, which is nothing but in the form of 0 comma 1s. A machine can able to understand a language which is binary, that is 0 comma 1. So this is a code that can be understood by the computer, and this is the final execution code uh, that a computer can able to understand. So this is all about compilation. So compilers and interpreters are the two important uh, topics that can be related to a programming language. And some of the compiler languages are Java, C++, .NET, C hash, etc. And some of the interpreter languages are Python, Ruby, PHP, Perl, etc. All right, so let's come to Python. So what is Python? Python is an interpreted high-level object-oriented programming language which is very easy to learn. So Python.org is the main official website of the Python, where you have tons of material and a notion of Python topics. So this website contains the Python software with various versions. So from downloads link, you can able to see there are various versions of Python software available to download for different versions of operating systems. So you can able to see that you can able to download Python software for Linux and Mac and other operating systems. Python 3 was a recent release that has many new features and functionalities, and Python 2.7 was most widely used and popular. So before you get familiar with Python, just try to use this Python 2.7. So so that's all, guys. This is a introduction of Python programming language, and also introduction to programming language. In our next tutorials, let's 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 get in deep with Python, like lists, I mean the data types, syntax, etc. Thank you, guys.
Hi everyone, let's get started. But before diving into Python programming, let's decide which IDE we will use for coding. There are several IDEs like NetBeans, PyCharm, Jupyter, Sublime, Visual Studio Code, etc. So let's select one from the 10 best IDEs for Python programmers. And I'm going to select the ninth one, Sublime Text 3. The Sublime Text 3 is one of the most powerful cross-platform lightweight code editors till date, and for beginners it is the best IDE to use. So let's install it. And before installing, I'm going to show you my system configuration. I'm using elementary 64-bit Ubuntu right now, and all installations will be done based on this configuration. So let's install Synaptic Package Manager first. It will help you to download all the related files of a particular package simultaneously. So since I have installed Synaptic Package Manager, let's go to Synaptic Package Manager and install Sublime. And in the search bar, just type for Sublime, and it will list all the related items of Sublime package, and just click on this apply button and again this apply button, and it will download the files for us. And before doing all the installations and downloads and all, just make sure that you are connected to the internet. So the Synaptic Package Manager have done its job. So we have installed Sublime in our system, and the selection of the Synaptic Package Manager or software sender for downloading purpose is up to you. You can select anyone from this, and Synaptic Package Manager is bit simple than software sender, I think, and it's completely up to you. You can select anyone according to your convenience. So let's go to the Sublime text right now. This is the Sublime text or Sublime IDE, and I have selected Python language, and here we can see all the languages that are supported by Sublime text. And since we are coding in Python, we are selecting Python, and over here in the right corner in the upper position we can see something. This is nothing but just the mini map. Mini map shows all the codes in a miniature forms that we are typing in this big console. That's it. And if that is disturbing you, then just go to the view and hide minimap. And we have got many other options over here. File options, new file open folder, etc. Edit options and all. And using all these options and this console, we can do many things. But the programming in this IDE in Python will be started by the next tutorial onwards. So that's all for now. Keep watching and thank you.
Hello guys, in the previous video we came to know about programming language and Python. In this video we'll implement or execute a simple Python hello world program. Hope you have Python installed on your computer from this link from the official Python website. Hope you have you are using 2.7 or whatever the version you are very convenient with. Alright, in Python we can execute code in two ways. One is by using the interpreter and one is by using Python scripts. Basically, a file is called Python script or Python module if it ends with .py. It means Python files ends with an extension of .py. But if you have a very large code to be executed, it's better to write a script with .py extension and execute it for your convenience. All right. So first of all, let's implement a simple hello world program by using the interpreter. Open the terminal. I have already opened the terminal. Now enter into Python interpreter. How we can do that? Simple. Just type Python without any input arguments to it and press enter. That's all. Now you are into Python interpreter. These three arrow marks shows you that tells you that you entered into Python interpreter, and now we can execute whatever the code we want here. So let's implement a simple Python hello world program. Boom. That's all. That's all in Python to print or to execute a simple hello world. So let's understand what this is all. Print. What is print? Print is nothing but Python built-in function that prints any data from Python program, and hello world is a string. So both the built-in function and the string combines and formed a Python program. So this is all about a simple hello world program in Python. We can also implement this Python hello world program using Python scripts or modules, as we have discussed as a second point in this. So let's implement this hello world program using script. Exit out of interpreter. Create a Python file or a module. We have created a Python module with an extension of .py. Let's open that. Now, for now it was a blank file, and let's write something, some program in it. So this was same as the one we have implemented on the terminal. Now we have written our simple program. Now how to execute it? Go to terminal, use the word Python and file name. There you go. You can able to see the string hello world that we have printed from the Python script. That's all in Python. So you can able to execute programs in two ways. One is interpreter and one is Python scripts. Let's do some meaningful. Uh, Print this hello world string by using some functions. Don't worry about these functions, data type, etc. We'll get into deep with these topics in our next tutorials. For now, let's print this hello world using Python function. Alright, we have written a simple function called hello world, and inside that we are printing the word hello world, and def is nothing but the notation in Python which indicates that this was a function. And finally we are calling this function to print this hello world. Let's execute this file from terminal. Same as we did before. There you go. You can able to see the string hello world that we have that we have executed, or that we have that we intended to print that from function. All right. So we have seen of executing this program through interpreter and also through Python scripts. There are many ways to implement or to execute this program using functions with taking different arguments, etc. So in the next tutorial, we'll know something in deep, like data types, syntax, etc. That's all for this tutorial, guys. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.